Hello, it's Ujwal, and today I want to share this little craft tool with you. This is known as the craft sheet, non-stick craft sheet, and there are a lot of craft sheets available in the market by Rangers and by Canoniverse. But this one, the specialty about this one is that it is made in India. It is made by Varna's Creations, and they were very generous to send me one to try out. And what I absolutely loved about it is the first thing was the packaging. It comes rolled up into this cylindrical cardboard box, and so once you are done working on your project, you can just roll it up and keep it aside, and it doesn't take up much space. Secondly, it's great quality. It measures 15 inches by 18 inches. It has a very sleek surface. It's quite thin, and it lays flat on the table, and nothing really sticks to it. And I absolutely love working on this. Because I do a lot of mixed media projects and distressings and watercoloring. It is great for all kinds of different techniques and projects, and keeps your table or workspace really clean. So let's try out a few different things and see what all you can do with this craft mat. So I have a stamp set from, again, from Varna's Creations here. It's called Background Builder, I think, and it has these lovely little leaves and foliage stamps here. So what I want to do is I want to say do a little offset stamping. So I want some parts of my stamp to be off the paper, and when you're doing this without the craft sheet or without any protective surface underneath, the ink kind of gets on your table or on a paper. You'll have to keep a scrap piece of paper. But when you are using the craft mat, you don't have to worry about it. You can just simply stamp it, and then take a piece of scrap cloth or a rag and just wipe it off, and it comes right off. You don't have to really worry about where the ink is going. Another thing to do is when you are blending, when you are creating scenes with your distressings and a blending tool, most of the ink is actually off the paper, and you put very little on the paper, and what happens is that you will again need something to protect your work surface so that the ink doesn't go all over. And again, the same thing is you can just take your rag and just wipe it off, and it will come right off on the cloth. Nothing sticks to it. Also, while I'm on distress inks, I like to mention that I also use this craft sheet as a color palette. Because the color doesn't stick to it, I can just directly put my color on the sheet and pick it up with my paintbrush and do my watercoloring. So which I think is really great if you're in a hurry and you don't want to take out your supplies and use a separate acrylic block maybe to use as a palette. This sheet does it all, and then you can just wipe it clean. You can just spray some water and clean it off with a rag. So I really like that. And again, of course, when you're doing messy projects like using the mists, and they kind of tend to fly off everywhere, and you get color everywhere. So this thing will actually take all the color and protect your work area. So you can just clean it with cloth, or you can take a journal like I do and just smush the ink on it so that you can use it later and it doesn't go to waste. So again, all kind of projects great with paints, nothing sticks to it, so that makes it really nice working working surface for your projects. Similarly, I use a lot of acrylics as well, and that too I can just directly put on my craft mat and use them for my project. And once it dries onto the craft sheet, it is like rubber, like plastic, and you can just peel it off with your fingers and wipe it clean with a rag. So that's there. And also, if you're using embossing powders, sometimes a bit of it falls off our projects and it goes everywhere on the table. To avoid that situation, you don't really have to worry. You can just heat set it right on your craft sheet, and you can see it doesn't warp, it doesn't, nothing happens to it. It stays unaffected with the heat gun. And once that embossing, I embossed right onto the craft sheet, and I can just kind of pull it off with my finger because it doesn't stick to the craft sheet. So these are, I think, great ways to use a craft sheet to protect your surface area. And I know some people work on their dining tables and some work in their living rooms. So this craft sheet is, I think, great to protect your work surface. And you can see now that the acrylic paint is dry. I can just peel it off with my finger and just wipe it off with the rag, and it comes right off. So there you go. And once again, once I'm done, I can just roll it back and put it in the box and keep it aside for my future projects. So I really loved the sheet, and I hope you give it a try. It's inexpensive, it's made in India, and a great quality product. Thank you so much for watching.